What's up, everyone? Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you being here and welcome to my world. Right, let's get started on today's video. In today's video, hating on Black Americans. Yes, you heard me. Now, I know I've made some videos like this before, and it seems that a lot of people are not really too concerned about stuff like this. But here on my channel, Ajima's World, I don't just talk about traveling. Um, I talk about a lot of different things. And I definitely want my subscribers and other viewers to know that there's more than just traveling. And especially for my Black subscribers, I wanna awaken a lot of people whose heads buried in the sand. And a lot of us, our heads are buried in the sand, and we gotta wake up. We gotta wake up quick because I've been seeing this for a while, and now that I'm living in this section of Boston, and it's not just Boston, okay? It's not Boston, but I've been seeing that a lot of immigrants that here in this country or people that's being led into this country are hating on Black people. I mean, it's getting crazy. It's getting to a point where I'm getting frustrated that I don't even feel comfortable in a city where I grew up. And my people, like I said before in our video, my people actually built this country, okay? And I'm starting to feel like I'm an outsider. I feel safer in Colombia. I'm telling the truth. I really feel safer in Colombia. Now everybody knows that the history and what they've heard about Boston, blacks and whites, all the stuff that we went through, blacks went through here in Boston. But I've grown to adjust and to fit in, and unfortunately, in dealing with white Americans, especially here in Boston. But now there's new racism. There's a lot of foreigners that are coming here, and that's being so disrespectful. Okay, there's a new racism, and it's coming from people that we actually helped get in this country. So let me give you some examples of this. Okay, like when I first moved here in this area where I'm living at, which is probably, I would say probably 65% Asian. And this is not me hating because I'm not hating on anyone. Okay, I'm not a hater. I don't hate. I love my race. I love my race, but I'm not hating on any other races. But people are staring at me and looking at me like I'm a stranger, like I don't belong. Okay, and this area used to be strictly Black and Puerto Rican, and there was some white families and stuff too, but mostly Black and Puerto Ricans. But now, with gentrification, there's whites from all around the world, not just America, from France, from Sweden, like Germany, like from everywhere. Okay, and they coming here to Boston being racist. Okay. I could walk out the door and people are looking at me like, okay, what are you doing coming out that building? Okay, but not so much that, like I said, Asians and stuff here. I used to always be like, they always used to be staring at me. Good example, I was out washing my car like last summer, and I felt eyes watching me, and next thing I know, we have security. I see some security guards coming. And I knew right away because I had all my doors open. I was washing the inside. And security guard had seen me before. So he had came through my door and my car was parked in front of my entrance. And so he had seen me. He looked, and he just nodded at me and kept going. I knew someone that called, and actually this brother, which I believe he's part of a patrol, just patrolling the area. He comes up on his bike and he looks at me like, "Hey, what's up, bro?" I was like, "Yeah, what's up?" So I knew some Asians probably calling like, "Oh, this guy might think he's stripping the car." Okay, so I had like every time I'm getting in my car or I'm doing something, I have a lot of Asian people watching me, and I just stare at them. And then they just turn around. So this has been happening a lot. Um, in the building, a lot of times they wouldn't speak, but now they're starting to see me a lot more, and there's a few good ones on my floor that's speaking. And I know to stay professional and not act up. And so it's getting a little bit better because they're starting to see me more, and they speak and I speak, and I always try to be a gentleman and getting on the elevator, getting off. So it is getting better, but I've seen not just from Asians who are you know with black hate, Africans. Another example, supermarket down the street from me. An African brother being rude to me for no reason. I'm trying to go in and play the number, and I'm gonna give him my number. He don't want me to give him my number. He wants me to write him down. I'm like, what are you talking about? They do this in all the supermarkets. No, 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 no. You write it down. It's like being real nasty. So I just walked out. Okay, I just walked out, and just recently, the other day, I went back in. And I saw him, and he's staring at me. And I gave him my lottery tickets because I won some money. He's just staring at me. I'm like, okay, so what's the problem? He goes, you just scratch this off. You got to scratch this. And I'm like, oh, every time I come in, there's always something. He goes, oh, no, you're supposed to scratch it. I'm saying, look, every time I go into a place, they say not to scratch this. You guys, he said, no, he starts going on. I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever. He said, you heard me right. I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever. Okay, so, yeah. He's got some problems with black people. And in my next video, I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. Another example. Yesterday, I'm in the supermarket, right? And I'm leaving. I'm saying I'm going to try to stay out of trouble. And this older Cape Verdean guy and his wife are like blocking me as I'm trying to leave the store. So I'm like, excuse me, sir. Didn't hear me. So, excuse me, sir. I said like 3, 4 times. Then he turns around and he looks at me, sees that I'm black. He just flies off the handle for no reason. I'm not lying to you. Just go, go, go. So I'm just looking at him like, what's the problem? He goes, I said go. So I stayed calm and I said, sir, because he was about like 67, 68. I'm still, sir, I don't understand. I don't see what the problem is. You was standing in my way. She's still standing in my way. Do you want me to hit her? You just moved over a little bit. I got all these groceries. I got this big car. I got to squeeze through. If you guys just move out the aisle, I could leave. So I said you can go. And I said that she's still blocking me. Do you want me to just hit her? And then he just looked at me like I was crazy and turned his head. Everybody's looking at me. His people looking at me. I'm like, damn, this is a damn shame. All right, so that was the other day. Now, several days ago, I'm walking from the Charles River, right? Walking across the footbridge. Walking, minding my business. See this Indian guy, he's on one side. So I guess a bike was coming down. A person on a bike was behind me and coming around. So instead of him stopping, he decides he's going to walk in my path, and he walks right directly in front of me. And he goes over to the wall, and which is no room because I'm like against the wall. And he just stands right in front of me. My reaction was like, what's going on? Is this somebody I know, or should I punch him? So I just said, hold on, let me just chill out. I just stopped. And he's looking at me, and I'm looking at him like, yo, like, what's the problem? So he goes over me. You could have moved. You could have scooted over. And I just went off on him. He got in his face, and he just looked at me. And I said, you're supposed to be on that side. This is not your country. We walk on this side. When you come up on that. And he just walked away. And I was just like, go back to your country, this and that, which I usually don't do that. But I've noticed that, and I talked to some other people too, that a lot of people from India, I see this a lot, and I've run into this a lot, walking into Charles River and sometimes downtown. They'll walk and they'll take up the whole sidewalk, okay? There'll be 5 or 6 of them. They're walking right next to each other. And you're coming and they're acting like you're not even there. You're supposed to just disappear or something. So this has been happening. Every time I walk, because you guys see me making videos over at Boston Commons and Public Gardens. And these Indians, they'll just walk right there in front of you. Like, they're the master and you're the slave and you're supposed to get out their way. So I also seen this with Arabs too. Arabs are doing that a lot. Some foreigners, some like from Europe, sometimes they'll move. I had this guy from Europe or something one time, just earlier today. He just walked straight towards me and had his dog, holding his dog. The leash was way over here. And he just kept walking right straight in front of me. So I just kept walking straight. He's coming right in front of me. And I just said, if he gets up on me, I'm going to. And then at the last minute, he just moved over to the side. And I'm like, what the hell was that all about? I don't know if he was from the South and he thought that he was going to make me just jump over to the side or whatever. Because he was taking up the whole sidewalk. His dog was way over here. He decided he's going to walk right in front of me. So it's the fact that people are trying to make Black people feel inferior. This is happening, okay? Because I talked to a Black Dominican friend of mine, and he says he's noticed that a lot. That when he's walking down the sidewalk, Indians will just come right up on him, and he says he just walks right through them and stuff. They'll jump out the way. So I'm telling you, this is happening like every day. And I don't understand why they can't see that they're walking on the wrong side and they should move out of people's way. They don't get it. Because I had people just stop and look at me like something's wrong with me. And I'll just stop and I'll just look at them like, so. And then they're like, oh, I'm sorry. So in my part 2, I'll go into more of why this is happening, but it's hating on Black Americans. People are trying to come here and they're disrespecting Black Americans. And guys, we need to start getting along and stop this nonsense. All right? Because I'm not calling out and talking about no one in particular, but I'm seeing a lot of people, a lot of brothers going back and forth with silly stuff, arguing about things. We need to start working together. Seriously, guys, I'm telling you, we need to start working together because all these immigrants are coming into this country, a lot that's already in here, and they're not showing no respect. Right? So watch out for my part 2. It may go into part 3 also, but we got to get it together. We need to stop arguing, hating on each other on YouTube, going back and forth. It needs to stop. All right. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate you being here. Take care. Peace. At Jim's World.